Guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lou. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lou will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve with no further to-do? Here's Coach Lou.
Welcome to Breakthrough with Lou, guys. Monday morning here, and what a perfect Monday morning for the show called Wing It. Okay, so last week I had a little meeting with my board of Sintra directors, and we're going to talk about Sintra on a show. And we decided that because we kind of pulled out in there and decided to move the show back to 8 o'clock because 7 is very hectic for you guys, especially the entrepreneur mindset. It just worked out better, and I was like, yeah, our listenership and our participation was definitely better up at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. So I'm like, cool, we're going to start 8 a.m. We put together this campaign. Then along comes this weekend, which I have a major show that we do 3 times a year in Mount Dora. And I was like, oh man, all weekend, dusk till dawn or dawn till dusk, and, preparation and uh-oh, we didn't get the marketing out for new showtime, any of that. And you know what most people would do? Well, they would say, let's just skip this week, right? No. And I was like, because Jen says to me, so you got a show title? You got a show plan for this week? And I'm like, I'm a zombie. No, I actually don't. I'm like, I'm going to wing it. There's the show. Wing it. And, guys, to be honest with you, the truth be told that, I don't script. I don't sit there and look down and go, this morning we're going to be discussing the power of why. I mean, come on, really? If I can't teach it to you from the heart, if I don't know it and I don't have the knowledge, I don't shouldn't be teaching it to you if I got to read it. Now, do I make myself some notes like, hey, make sure to cover this, that, and the other? Of course. We should do that in life. But the whole point to it is, and really what it comes down to, in our last show we talked about ready or not. Here we go. The truth is, you got to go. The go is what makes things happen in life. The ready, the preparation, the learning is great. And I highly recommend, kind of having a clue what you're doing. Okay, maybe a little more than kind of having a clue. But, preparation is great, but, most people fail to launch. I mean, how many 30-year-olds are still living in mom and dad's basement, if you have basements, or on the couch or in the other bedroom, and it's one thing if somebody's got a physical infirmity or something like that or mental issue, but, fully capable adults still living at home at age 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 30, 40. I mean, come on. What's the day and age we live in? That's kind of crazy. Okay. And some people say, you know what, I like my family. I want to live with my family. And that's fine. But when it's because you can't afford to make a living, once you're past 18 years old, you should be able to put a roof over your head. Maybe you have roommates. Maybe have a tiny little room you rent somewhere or something. But you've got to start functioning in life. And that's what I'm talking about. People say, well, when I'm done with school, when I'm done with this, when I'm done with that, I'll start. And it's like, that really scares me. If you're in school for something, start practicing it, and it's like, okay. And you might say, well, okay, that's great, Mr. Coach Lou, but what if I'm in school for brain surgery? You want me to start practicing? Well, yeah, on a melon. No, seriously. I mean, you should be, putting some practical use to it. But most of the things, obviously you don't want to cut into somebody's brain until you're truly educated in how to do that. However, there is going to be your first time. Lucky patient right there, right? No, seriously, you're gonna actually do that at some point where you go, I'm actually going to make the incision if you're a brain surgeon. And at some point, you got to do it. You can't go, well, this other doctor's got 30 years experience, so I'm just going to watch him and watch him and watch him. Well, at some point, you got to pick up the scalpel. You got to pick up the gavel if you're trying to be an auctioneer. Maybe, you're in the auction business and you went to school and you got your license and you're an auctioneer. No, you're not. Not until your mouth moves. Not until you're selling stuff. Not until you're turning keys and making money. The reality is that, it's the same thing with, I'm going to get fit. Okay. Well, you can make the best plan in the world. You can research all the gyms and sit there, drinking a big old hot cocoa. This coffee, by the way, Life Boost, baby. You can sit there drinking a big old hot cocoa, eating ho-hos, looking up and, oh my God, I found the best gym. This is the coolest gym. I'm doing all this research. I'm going to go out and buy the clothes, and nothing happens with your body until you walk in the gym. Guess what? I'd rather you go in the dingy little corner gym in jean shorts if you have to start out and get your body moving. What a concept. Okay, instead of having it all decked out and perfect and then never actually pushing go. Go is where it's at, guys. It's like this morning, I'm like, all right, good. Woke up at 5 o'clock sharp. I was like, ooh, yeah. Good, extra hour, because you know me, I got to be up by 6 to get my day functioning properly. But when I wake up that extra hour early, I'm like, bam, I laid back down. Not a good idea for the sleep cycle type thing, because then I'm waking up to Jen's alarm at 6, and I'm like, oh man, I'm groggy, I'm tired. When at 5 o'clock, I was ready to take on the world. And I'm like, I still got time because we moved the show time. And it's still, I get logged in and I'm like, problem. Our TMP is not broadcasting. So we started the broadcast, but not on all channels. And I was like, all right, rewind. And I could have at that point said, just screw it, leave it till next week, right? Nobody's going to get mad. Well, you might not get mad at me, but I'm not delivering something that can help start your week right. If I can deliver this week, nothing more than, I'm going to wing it until you push the go button and wing it till you get good at it. Okay? And it doesn't mean you're irresponsible or totally whacked out there and doing stupid stuff and going, oh man, I didn't even know that. I needed a license for that or this or that. What I'm saying is if you don't go before you're ready to go, you're never going to be ready. Okay, you got to step up. You got to get moving. Get your feet on the ground, boots on the ground, as we say. Get your boots on the ground and get moving. Are you going to readjust? Are you going to learn? Are there going to be times where you're going to go, ooh, I didn't make quite the right decision? Yes, but if you don't do it, it's never going to happen. You can philosophize about it all you want. The world is full of people sitting around going, I got a great idea. Someday I'm going to start a business, and their friend is going, yeah, we'll have coffee and talk about it for about 6 years and plan it out. And, business is hard. Yeah, we'll meet next Monday and we'll have some coffee and talk about it some more. How about you meet next Monday and go sign a lease on a place for your new business and get moving? Well, that could be scary. We're not going to. For those of you listening and not watching, I'm drinking my coffee and feebly holding it with my hands because I'm clutching onto it because the idea of starting something is too scary. Okay, those of you who can see me can see the obvious facial, etc. going on here. But the truth of the matter is this: stop talking about it and start doing it. Okay, planning is good, and sometimes planning is your first action. Okay, I want to open a business. What am I going to do? Well, let me scratch out a business plan. Doesn't mean it takes you 6 weeks to create a business plan, or you go pay somebody to make you a business plan. Do it on a freaking paper towel and a piece of paper or a napkin. Write it down. Go, this would be the basic idea of what the business is. Okay, what it is, why I want to do it, and here's, some ways to take action to do it. Imperfect, but it's action. Nothing happens without action. You can about it. We can sit there and go, I want a good parking space. I want to open a business. We can about it and put it out to the universe. I really don't love that kind of commentary, but put it out to God, put it out to the universe, however you call it. But But until you like go out and walk out of your house and start your car and go to the store, you're never going to get a good parking space. You're never going to get a parking space, period, because you never went. You never go to the store. Okay? By the way, a good parking space is one that's the furthest away and makes you walk and move your body. Okay? And they're usually the easiest ones to get. So it's a win-win. Because most people, I'll drive around for 10 minutes to get a front row parking space. Unless you're loading something huge, going to Best Buy and buying a huge TV and you're going to load it up. You might not want to go through the parking lot because these days you're liable to get run over in the Best Buy parking lot. No, but seriously, think about this. Nothing happens till you go, till you get moving. Get operational. That's a new one there. Go equals get operational. I'm going to write that down. I like that. Get operational. That means get moving. Go. Get operational. I like that. We created a new acronym this morning. But it's really the truth, guys. Until you get moving, and give me some commentary on this. I mean, I touch on subjects that make people kind of squirm in their seat, kind of go, something to think about. Well, let's stop thinking about it and let's start doing about it. Come on. What are you waiting for? This is the fun part of life, is the doing. All right. I did the Spartan races a couple weekends ago, coming off a back injury. It was hard to get in and out of bed for a few days, and I was really hurting for a couple weeks. It was not easy to go run and lift. Then I get sick. I haven't been sick in forever. And I'm like, are you serious? Right when I have 2 Spartan races in one weekend. And I'm like, I don't know. Well, I'll get through the first small one and see how I feel. And Jen hit it right on the head. She said, once you run out there and you do the first, once you're on that field, you're gone. You're going. You're going right back the next day. Don't plan anything else because you're going to run that second race. I'm like, I don't know. I'm really out of shape. I'm really maybe not out of shape, but not really conditioned for the conditions. Well, I got through both of them. I still got scrapes and bloodies, and my knees look worse. But it is what it is. The thing is the second day race, the bigger race, I did one of my best times I've done on the super. Okay, I did average on the sprint. That's one of the reasons is the waves are a little bit bigger, so there's more people, a little bit more lag time on the obstacles. Not as an excuse, but just as a reality. On the bigger race, even though it's bigger, harder, more obstacles, longer race, there's a little less people in it, which allows you to move through it a little smoother. How about we put it that way? Not an excuse of why I took an average time on my first day, but certainly a reason why it's a little bit of an advantage as you go out. Now, I got the 21K with the 50 obstacles coming up next month. I got 1 month to train. And we got Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving is going to be a nice light meal. And not setting back and eating so much sugar and possibly catching another cold or something goofy like that. Because I'm going to conquer this thing. But I got to go to do it. I got to show up. I got to go. I got to get operational. I can talk about it and go, I'd like to do that big Spartan race. I'd like to get the trifecta. See, that's what I'm after. Trifecta. You do all the 3 races within the calendar year, you get the trifecta medal. And I'm pretty eager to do that. And, it's been a goal. And I haven't done it in previous years, but it's happening this year. And, I could come up with 20 different reasons. Oh, my God, we're busy at work. We're this, we're that. It's really not the best time. I could come up with every reason in the world, but that's it. If I don't do it this December, if I don't do my 3rd race, I don't get my 2025 trifecta. It's up to me. Is it going to be easy? No. Am I as conditioned? No. I'd like 3 months of conditioning for that race. That's a big beast, literally. But the fact is I'm just going to get out there and go, Does it give me a little tummy tickle? Yeah. A little nervous? Yeah. It's the biggest one I've ever done? Yeah. But, we could talk about it forever or do it. And you might go, well, you know what, Coach, I'm not really into doing a Spartan race. What is it? Why is this relevant? Well, it's relevant to anything in life. What if you're single and you want a relationship? Ooh, taboo here. Yeah. Well, all the good ones are taken, or they're this, or they're that, or, and, okay. There's a million people in relationships. Yeah, and they're all in relationships. And oftentimes that is true. Okay. The reality is more people are in relationships that aren't. But just because you don't happen to know anybody else who's single at the moment and you're looking to be in a relationship doesn't mean you're not going to meet somebody else who happens to be single, or somebody becomes single. The reality is there's natural transformation. Not most relationships don't last. Here, if you're single and you're like, oh, everybody I know is taken, well, here's the good news: 90% of the relationships don't last anyway. Okay, which is a sad number. I got to admit, I would like to see people be a little more committed and stuff, but that's a combo for another day. But so the reality is your timing. And sometimes people go, I just got the worst timing. I settled for kind of an relationship, and then the person of my dreams came available. Well, okay, that's not always what was meant to be, or etc. But it's like anything else. You got to go. You got to get operational. You got to get out there. However you do it, however you do dating these days, whether it's, you go meet people in your industry, you meet somebody at work, you meet somebody at the gym, you meet somebody in your favorite coffee shop, you meet somebody in a bar is probably not your best bet, but hey, some people still do it that way, whether you go online and do it and, go through the online shopping catalog and go, I want to pick you out. The problem is they have to pick you out too. That's the funny thing, like when I was a kid, and this is funny, that's how I kind of put, look at the online dating thing. When I was a kid, we had the brand names. There was this thing that, you'd go in and you'd put the little slip through and it would come out on a conveyor. But they had this catalog they'd mail every year, and I couldn't wait till Grandma got the catalog for brand names. I'd sit there, and it was my dream wish list. I would go through, and I want that, and I want that, and that's what online dating seems to feel like. Did I get everything I wanted in the catalog? No. Did I find what I really wanted sometimes and save up for it as a kid? Yeah, because we didn't have a lot as a kid. So, it wasn't like I wasn't a spoiled brat that was like, order it on Amazon. Yes, let me push a button and get it tomorrow. This was save up, work hard, and get this stuff. But again, that taught me to go. It was like, okay, I can sit there and look at the catalog forever and be jealous that other people have it and can have it today. Or it was like, all right, well, what do I got to do? How many days do I got to work? How many stupid candy bars or whatever do I have to skip instead of buying stupid stuff like that for lunch at school? How many times, how can I get what I want and then do it? And you have to do it. You can't sit there and go, well, if I don't buy a candy bar for the next 6 weeks, I can buy this cool video game. And then you continue to buy the candy bar, and in 6 weeks you go, well, I can't afford the video game. It is what it is. It's one or the other. Either you get going, and that doesn't mean until you wait till everything's perfect, or you just wait your life away. And this is a hard one, guys. This is, I hope this is really driving something home to you right now, where you're going, oh, wow, the truth be told is he's freaking right. If I don't start now, where am I going to be in 6 months? Where am I going to be in a year? Where am I going to be in 10 years? Where am I going to be in 10 minutes? Where am I going to be at the end of my life? Am I going to be happy with the life I led? Or am I going to continue to wait until it truly is too late? Yeah, I'm going to tell you something today. If you're upright, you're breathing, you're moving, you're able to walk, you're able to get around, you're able to go after your dream. And you might go, well, I'm paralyzed. Okay, and I'm sure that somebody out in our audience is saying that right now. Hey, you know what? I kind of missed my opportunity. I broke my neck. I can't move. I'm in a chair. You could be. You know what? I have met people in a chair. I've met people without limbs. I have met people all walks that are living their dreams and their goals, even if their bodies can't move. And then I've met people that have oh, I have a little bit of arthritis in my hand, or I have some pain in my hand, and I'm disabled. I can't work. Okay, guess what? My hands hurt, guys, from some of the sports I've done, from some of the work I've done, some of the injuries I've had. There's some days where these suckers hurt. Okay, I'm not going to tell you any different, but it doesn't stop me. I still can play guitar. Maybe not as, maybe I'm not quite as fluid because it hurts a little. Or monkey bars in a race. Some days that hurts like a mother. And other days it's good. And I'm finding, the anti-inflam stuff and that works, the healthy stuff. But yeah, I've got some injuries that hurt. But, I could use that as an excuse not to do stuff. And then you got somebody who, if they move this much, that's a gain after a horrible accident where they've been left paralyzed or something. And they're happy about that movement, where some people are like, oh, my hand's a little stiff. Oh, poor me. Okay. Poor you, no. Okay. If your hand's a little stiff, or, you got a little this, that, and you're basically overall able to get around and move, you better be damn happy, because there's a lot of people that can't move and are still happy. There's Tony Robbins said it once. He said, and I'll pose this question to you because I like it. He said, if you take a lottery winner and a paraplegic, somebody who wins the lotto this year and somebody who becomes a paraplegic, in 5 years, who's happier? And, the funny thing is I'm like, all right, that first time I ever heard that, I was like, that's got to be a trick question. It's got to be the paraplegic, because, it's obvious that he's putting this out there for a point, and he wouldn't be saying that, the lotto winner's happier, because that would be the thing everybody think, the lotto winner is happier. Who do you think? Put it in the chats. Do you think the paraplegic is happier or the lottery winner? The funny thing is the answer is going to really surprise the heck out of you. And you're going to be like, oh, so it is the lottery winner. No. So it is the paraplegic. No. Oh, who's happier? Neither one of them. In 5 years, their level of happiness is the same. It levels out. Why would that be? One person's won the lotto, one has had their mobility taken away. Come on, how can they level up to be no happier or less happier than they were prior to the incident? Well, here's the deal. Winning the lotto, and most people lose that kind of money because they don't even begin to know how to deal with it. But with that all aside, in 5 years, they've leveled off to whatever level of happiness they're going to have. Paraplegic in 5 years, same deal. The shock is over. Initially it's like very depressing. And in most cases, they're very depressed, and rightfully so. I mean, you've had your mobility taken from you. However, in 5 years, the lottery winner, not a lot, phases them differently. It's not like that moment of, oh my God, freedom, I've won the lotto. And the paraplegic, if they can do that with their finger, that's huge. That is celebration. They'll celebrate that motion, where the lottery winner might not be excited about, a trip to Italy. They might have been there 5 times or whatever. I don't want to go back to Italy. This is exciting. Trip to Italy. That's what I'm talking about. The happiness level. And I was like, wow, that really makes sense. Give me your thoughts on that, guys, because I'd be curious to see, I know people have won the lotto, and I know people have lost their mobility. And I think that statement is very true. I really find that to be a really unique analogy, a sad analogy in a sense, because whether you horrifically lost something or majorly gained something, you're no happier than you were prior to the event after 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, and that varies. But the truth be told, that it's not what happens, it's your meanings that determine your happiness or your not so happiness. Makes sense, right? So my point today is, wing it. Let's go. Wing it a little bit. If you're ready to make motion, go. Learn as you go. And drink Life Boost or Cardiology coffee. I actually represent both of them. They each have their own niche in how I feel about coffee, but both are high quality and very healthy. So we're going to do a comparison show on them too, because they're both very dear to my heart, very dear companies to my heart. Listen up, guys. I'm going to cruise this morning. I've got a lot to do this week. We are a little offbeat, off schedule. I'm sure that you're probably going, hey, this has been great, Coach, but I got to get to going. Key there. Get to going. Let's go, baby. Step it up. Who's committed to go? Show it in the chats. Give me the thumbs up. Send me some love. Make some comments. And if you're watching, depending on where you're watching or listening, give some thumbs up. Subscribe. Please comment wherever you're watching or listening. I want to know, what is it going to take to get you to go? Get operational. Guys, live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. And I mean always live your dreams. Have an amazing day. Ciao for now. See you on the next round.
Ready to take it to the next level? Next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lou himself. As Coach Lou always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.